This past All-Star weekend, I was asked a few questions. A few of my peers were asked questions like, what do you think about a one-on-one tournament in the NBA? Let me tell you about a one-on-one tournament in the NBA before we get back to Moon and Nesco. A one-on-one tournament in the NBA is not going to happen the way y'all want it to because there's a certain level of political slash professional stuff that happens in between, right? Say I go against somebody else, right? In the NBA, it could be Dame, Steph, it could be Darius Garland, it could be Donovan, it could be anybody, right? In the NBA, like it could be any point guard, right? That I match up with. A lot of guys, and it's not me, but a lot of guys don't want to be in front of the camera playing one-on-one. A lot of our one-on-ones when we're working out, especially when you're a professional NBA or you're an NBA player or you're a professional player, you do that in the sacredness of a private gym. You rarely play one-on-one for the cameras. Right? Because one-on-one is meant to be a sacred act. That's how we describe it as pros, right? Since I was a kid, one-on-one has been a sacred act because you literally are going against somebody by yourself. It's the hardest thing to do is to play defense and have offense. So when you're watching these guys play on one-on-one, they're in great shape. A lot of guys are not in great shape, so you see the mistakes happen. But the one-on-one in the NBA version, a lot of guys will be in shape, but the quality of play will be based off of how hard we're going, and to be honest with you, a lot of guys are afraid to get embarrassed. A lot of guys are afraid to get crossed. A lot of guys are afraid to get dunked on. And a lot of guys are not afraid, in which I think opens up the door for not just All-Star weekend to be about the All-Stars playing one-on-one, but you should open that up for anybody to compete. And that should be the final, kind of stage where everybody plays. Like I think every team competitively should do one-on-one tournaments, and then you should get a player from each position, right? You get the best players from each position to play one-on-one against their matchup. You got 5 one-on-one players, 5 of your best one-on-one players, then they go and play against the other 29, other teams and their guys in positions, and then you spar. This is sparring. One-on-one is called sparring in the NBA. We don't play professional one-on-one, for money. We play team sports to win championships. That's what a lot of us do it for. But one-on-one exposes people to a whole different side of criticism because people literally are just watching you. So your whole game is literally being criticized and watched. And a lot of people are not used to that. You can hide when, again, I don't mean hide in a negative way when I say this. You can hide with your teammates on the floor and you can, be in defensive position to hide somebody defensively or offensively. You're not a good shooter. You can cut. You can, go back door, you can screen, you can rebound. There are other things to do, but in one-on-one, you got to get a bucket in order to win. A lot of people struggle with their bags in front of the camera. I'm just going to keep it a beam with y'all. I'm just going to keep it a beam. A lot of people don't have that skill to be able to go for a one-on-one game to 100 or game to 50. But there are a lot of pros that have that and want to play, right? And you got to make space for both. There are guys that are not going to be drawn to the one-on-one because they don't think one-on-one is basketball. And then you have guys that are going to be drawn to the one-on-one game because this is how they grew up playing. I grew up playing one-on-one in my backyard. I grew up playing, outside all day, every day against anybody and everybody. I played against all age groups. I played against a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? And again, when I said that, some people don't believe that one-on-one is real basketball. Yes, Bron said that in the past. Of course, he said that. But that's not a negative connotation on him and what he believes. It's just one-on-one basketball is not basketball to him. Like he doesn't play it. But on the other end, you have guys that love that competition to see how they stack up against the best of the best. It's one-on-one. I love fried bacon. Oh, so I don't want to say fried bacon. A lot of people are not ready for that type of environment where, like that in itself is just like, it's an environment that you got to get used to. I grew up playing in New York, New Jersey, mainly New York, majority of my life. And then New Jersey, I played high school. I played a few AAU tournaments. Growing in New York, like you felt like you were in MSG every week. You were being talked about like you were already in the NBA. That's what the New York basketball scene was like. Like we all walked around like we were all pros. So one-on-one became that conversation starter where it's like, yo, I think I could beat you one-on-one to fights. One-on-ones used to turn into fights. If you getting your ass beat, thank you for the happy early birthday, famous Drippy. Thank you, brother. You know what I'm saying? I think that the whole entire reality that I was in during that time was built on how can I be exciting as a player? How can I be entertaining? And then also how can I do it on both ends of the floor to dominate my opponent? I want to dominate. Not a lot of people want to dominate. They want to, kind of be finesse. I want to dominate. I want to beat you into the ground. Like, especially in one-on-one, I'm about to carry that over y'all head. If I beat you one-on-one, I'm carrying that over your head. I don't care if I'm 1-0. I don't care if I'm 55-0. I don't care if I'm 55-2. I don't care if I'm 55-54. If I beat you more than you beat me, I'm talking my shit. I don't care. That's just what one-on-one does. And that's why I feel like I'm perfect for this scene. I'm perfect and not perfect at all in terms of my human life, but I feel like I'm perfect for this opportunity to be a part of the 1v1 scene in a different way. But 1v1 is an element of basketball, but it's not the game of basketball. The game of basketball has so many tentacles at this point, it doesn't matter. Entertaining basketball is entertaining basketball. It doesn't matter if it's 1v1, 2v2, 3v3, 4v4, 5v5. It doesn't matter. Basketball at a high level played, especially with skilled players, is entertaining, right? It's part of entertainment. That's it. But when you get to the one-on-one, to the foundation of it, some people are not built for it, bro. And it's okay. Some people aren't built for 2v2, 3v3, and on, bro. I'm built for 1v1. If you go look at my stats, go look at who I compare to in PPP and in 1v1 situations, go and look at my stats and why I'm already in that frame of mind majority of the time, right? Is because I feel like nobody can guard me one-on-one. So I get doubled, I get tripled. Teams are trying to force me into situations. And if I get an isolation, I got to take advantage of it. But go watch the film. The film doesn't lie. I've been in the league 14 years, going on my 15th year next year. I'm an old head in this shit, bro. I know it. I'm a young old head in this shit, but I've been dogging for a while. I've been getting to the manyan, as y'all youngins say. I've been getting to that manyan. Been getting to it at 6'2". Been getting to it. You know what I mean? So, of course, the comparisons are going to be there, right? Especially when it's 1v1. I've been compared to, God knows everybody's name, but it's just like I've been compared. But when it comes to that 1v1 matchup, it's not the same as a 5v5 matchup. It never will be, right? You're not 5v5. You're judged by your team success, which is most important when you're playing basketball, especially in that environment. And then also, you got to have a great handle on your confidence and your verve in 1v1. 5-on-5, you got to be confident in verve, but you got other players out there. One-on-one game that we're watching right now is about the love. It's about the crafting of it. Not everybody's going to be great at one-on-one, which is perfectly fine. But having that love to play and compete, that's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where I'm at now, where I think I've allowed so many people to gossip about the game itself without giving proper due to others that have built aspects of the game. You got to stop being disrespectful. Just because somebody doesn't have a ton of championships does not mean that they're less than in the game of basketball or the other aspects of basketball. Yeah, I got to stop doing that, bro. Too many casual fans, and we call fans casual. What's up? What's up, Elo? You okay? Okay. I'll see you in a little bit, okay? I'll see you in a little bit. I love you. Not everybody's gonna make it to the NBA. Not everybody's gonna have an incredible college career or make it to D1, D2, D3, all that other stuff. But people still love the game and they want to compete. And this is what it's about, man. This is like the art of where basketball has come from, right? Like, of course, we have the rules of basketball that have been shaped, but when it's just you and your friend or you and your pops or your parent or your mom or anybody else, this is what you got to use to get better. You know, when you're in the gym, you may not be good defensively, but you will get exposed if you're not good defensively in one-on-one. If you think you're good offensively, you will get exposed, whether you're good or not in one-on-one. One-on-one exposes all of the weaknesses in your game. Because in a team environment, you could hide people, right? You can hide people based off their skill sets or, show them in a different light based on their skill sets. Sorry, sometimes I stutter. One-on-one scene has to be developed in a way where people are being able to vocalize how they feel, but create the vocab that's out of respect. That's why I was saying team basketball, you win the championships, you do it, for a long period of time, God willing. But in 1v1, you could do this until you're about 55. You about 65. You can play 1v1 for a while, so the age doesn't stop. Shout out to Uncle Drew, by the way. The age doesn't matter. You got to keep going. So 1v1 now, I think, has to be brought into the popular aspects of basketball, because this is the real deal. This is the real deal, man. This is the real deal. One-on-one, you can't hide.
Back chat.
Shout out to all my hoopers that play with a beanie on. So look at Nesco's feet. Look at Nesco's feet. A lot of y'all take too long to make decisions. Right here. Okay, look. Right here. Look at his feet. Right? You see, he's in a jab position. He's in a jab position. And by the way, African Arthur, bro, I hate championship or bust culture because it diminishes so many legends like T-Mac, Vince, Penny Hardaway, and Allen Iverson. Bro, this is why I'm creating the culture that I'm creating now alongside my brothers and sisters that are doing it too, bro. If you're not out here playing and trying to be out here and like stay in shape and you don't know the spiritual side of basketball, bro, stay the way. I'm just going to leave it at that. If you don't have the spiritual sense of the connectivity to basketball, bro, the jogging, the running, the stretching, the team working, the traveling, the the platforms that you can create through it, like the people that you meet along the road that help shape who you are, the people that become family and start off as friends, the AAU trips, the college trips, the professional trips, your favorite players, getting their favorite jersey, everything down to what we appreciate about what people do in this culture. If there are people that are disrespecting it, stop making space for them. Just stop. I don't care what big corporations want to do with some of these mouthpieces. I don't care. But I'm gonna tell you this right now: the more that we get basketball in the right hands, it doesn't belong to the media. It doesn't belong to the NBA players. It doesn't belong to the GMs. It doesn't belong to the owners. It doesn't belong to the fans at home. Basketball doesn't belong to any of us. This is literally a borrowed sport. The NBA basketball is only 77 years old. 78 years old. It's not that old. We treat basketball like it's tennis or like football. Like basketball is old in the sense of just 78, but like it's not that old. So all these rule changes, all the economics that have changed, all of the, you know what I mean? All of the media attention that's come, that's turned this into an international game. Over the last few years, if you've noticed, why are the people that talk shit about basketball the most popularized people that are able to talk about this? Why is everybody afraid to call them out? Not afraid to call them out in the sense of like, say, go to their face. But I'm saying, why are we afraid to call them out as a group? They don't belong in our culture. Let them be in their culture. Let's protect basketball in a way where it's not, of course, it's a game that we play. It's a child's play game, right? I enjoy it. But let's stop letting people just get in to our stuff without having without having a real tangible feel for it. You're not even studying the spiritual side. You don't even care about the guys who came or the girls who came before you. I'm good off that, bro. That's why I stay to myself. I love the things I love, right? And then I talk to who I talk to. Other than that, you're going to have to make up your judgment without knowing me. And I don't care. I literally tell people this all the time in interviews, like basketball was a pain reliever for me until I went and got help for myself. You know what I'm saying? Basketball became like my brother, my sister. Like it became something that I carried with me everywhere. I didn't let anybody disrespect it. I didn't want anybody to, I didn't let anybody violate this because I had to protect it. You know what I mean? I just think controversy, like somebody said, Doom 121 said, controversy will always be what drives entertainment, unfortunately. It's right. Controversy drives the clicks, but let's stop allowing people to come into our culture, our spiritual game, and tell us what's right and what's wrong. And I'm talking to some of the former players too. They have lost their way. Yeah, I will say their names when I address them, when I see them in person, but there are some former players that just be talking chat shit on like, you don't even be talking about anything. All you do is hate on the younger players. And then you got young players looking up to these older players. And we see them as, I'm not going to call them my idol, but we looked up to them. right? We valued their journeys. We respected their journeys. We wanted to get close to them. And then when you see somebody that you respect like that and admire go on TV and talk about your journey as if it's just some, oh yeah, this just happens to you all the time. Just get over it because you make a bunch of money. I'm so sick of that excuse, bro, that you're not allowed to feel because you make a lot of money in the NBA and you get paid. And oh my gosh, like people on Twitter, on social media, crucifying people that are making millions of dollars and they're not playing in games because they're injured, or they're not the same player that they were last year because they're injured. Y'all don't know what goes on behind the scenes. Y'all clearly don't. And a lot of the media people that are on TV don't either. You may have insiders, you may have people that you look to give you information, but you don't know what's fucking going on. So whether it's from 1v1 to 5v5, I'm here as a protector. I'm not about to let people just keep coming in our culture and disrespect this shit as if they have, like, they not getting paid from it. You got people that are talking shit about the culture but get paid from it. I'm good, bro. That whole relationship is done. Of course, yeah, there are a lot of people that are playing that are black. But that doesn't mean that we dismiss all the other races that want to be a part of this too. And obviously black and white are just colors. Those are not nationalities or full-blown races, right? But I'm saying that when we describe it in black and white terms like that, it has a way of separating us, like, oh my God, he's nice for a white boy. Oh my gosh, he get into it for a white boy. Like, I don't participate in those type of conversations, but at the same time, they're there. Oh, he nice, he trying, and it's not a large portion, right, of white people in the league, but at the same time, basketball is a colorless sport, y'all.